88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
WEHA, Port Republic, Atlantic City. And now on FM Translator 100.3 W262CF, Atlantic City, Pleasantville.
The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour, power to the people, talking about the power of the people of Atlantic City, a platform for people to discuss ideas of the community, creating an all-inclusive environment where people of Atlantic City can actively participate in the economic revitalization of Atlantic City's future. This forum will focus on black and white capitalism, working together to create red, white, and blue capitalism. Every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. on WEHA 88.7 and 100.3 FM. We have gospel. The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour. Power to the people.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together, we're polishing up our act. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want you to listen to every word I say, every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're rolling up. Ain't no stopping us now. We've got to do. Ain't no stopping us now.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Atlantic City in America, and welcome to WEHA Radio, the Jim Whitehead Power Hour. We got a couple of wonderful subjects to talk about because Atlantic City is energized. Teddy Taché, are you online from
Teddy
Washington, D.C.? No, not yet? Okay, she'll be joining us. Well, we have Lisa Diane Hall here, LDTV.
LDTV is here. Hey, Jimmy Whitehead.
Yes, WEHA Special Edition.
All right.
With
Oh,
Lisa
so
Diane
excited.
Hall. Yes.
Yeah.
So, here we are. Christ-centered, community-focused, listener support. We have gospel, 88.7 and 100.3 FM, Atlantic City. The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour, and we're going to talk about some Power Hour stuff today.
Yep.
Everything right now, as everybody has heard, is focused on this economic apartheid referendum to just vote no. You know, we got to vote no. We're trying to get everybody in Atlantic City to vote no March 31st to oppose this a referendum to take away the vote from the people of Atlantic City.
It's crazy.
And it's just amazing how Atlantic City is coming together and they're uniting and they're holding hands and holding arms and showing up and showing out. And we have mothers and fathers. We have community, family, a conference this weekend. And it's just like you see this energy throughout the city that the 2020 clear vision that this new year was going to bring.
Oh, yeah.
Is coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful what's going on in the city right now.
It's great to see. It's
Yeah.
great to see people being so united. And it's Lisa Diane, by the way. You didn't introduce me, Jimmy Whitehead. No.
I did say you several times.
Did you? Oh, I
Yes.
didn't even know.
Okay, say Lisa Diane.
LDTV, I'm back.
Yes, LDTV, Lisa Diane. You didn't recognize her because she's been losing weight on her fast.
Yes, I've lost like 12 pounds.
She's been doing her exercise, your mind, body, and vote.
That's right. I've been doing it.
She's been doing it.
Trying to support you in this effort. I kind of started a little bit before.
You did start. You inspired me.
I know.
You inspired us.
You.
Yes, you were the
And we're
inspiration.
doing big things because it's good to detox, to cleanse your body, pray, fast, think about new things that you want in 2020. And that's why I started off with this fast, because I wanted to have insight from God. I wanted blessings from God as I go on this journey for 2020, because everything that happened in the last decade is the last decade. This is a new decade, and we are doing new things. New things. Step out of the box, step out of your comfort zone, things that you haven't done before. Do new things. So Jimmy Whitehead, it's great that you are inspiring people to not drink, to ride. I see you on your exercise bike in the morning, and you're so cute. You be serious. I don't get up that early, so I'm not even going to fake the funk and act like I'm going to be joining you, because I don't get up that early.
Right.
But he is up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I see you online, riding your bike, drinking your beet juice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
You got it, yeah.
That's fantastic.
I made a commitment that I want to give 30 days and encourage others to participate in 30 days, what we call exercise your mind, body, and vote. But at the same time, what I want to return is one day from everybody. One day to go to the polls on March 31st and vote no. I'm giving 30 days, and I'm challenging Atlantic City to one day. Okay? Matter of fact, one of the things... Did Teddy come on yet? Teddy Tache, you there?
Yes, Teddy Tache is here. I've been here for a while.
Oh, my goodness. So say hello to everybody. This is the Opportunity Zone lady.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Power Hour.
Well, since you just joined us, why don't you just go ahead and voice your opinion about what we were just talking about, this whole apartheid referendum that we're working against.
Well, I mean, everybody's attention, of course, is heartfelt in two places today, I guess, for Atlantic City and other places. One with Kobe Bryant and
Kobe Bryant,
family,
God bless his
others
family.
who basically were killed in the helicopter crash. So condolences to everyone's family, and Kobe has truly touched the heart of not just LA or America, but around the world. And then looking at things that he stood for, I said him first because he was a family man. Yeah. And being as though he was a family man, he paid attention to the things that were important to him for his family.
Yes.
And that is a segue into talking about this referendum. Yeah. Because it is something that is important for the families of Atlantic City to pay attention to, because this is how, in civics, we deal with what is close to us and how we get things done.
Yes.
And if you are not paying attention and going to give up your vote or your right to say who you want to lead you, then that's you saying the same for your family or for your children who may not be able to vote or, rely on you for their everyday. So that's my segue in. So it's important.
Well, your segue leads right into this event. It's an important town hall meeting this evening to discuss not changing the city government. It's a vote no against the hostile North Jersey takeover, calling all Atlantic City residents to attend an important town hall meeting this evening at 7 o'clock at the Soldiers' Home, which is actually called the All Wars Memorial Building at 1510 Adriatic Avenue. I'm going to be down there if anybody wants to come out and join us, and I would love to meet you. I would love to shake your hand or hug you and thank you for your support. But again, tonight, 7 o'clock at the All Wars Memorial Building, Soldiers' Home, 1510 Adriatic Avenue, Atlantic City. Everybody's coming out so we can unify against this economic apartheid referendum. And then tomorrow evening, Derek Brock and I, we're hosting a meeting because we're trying to get 10 to 15 volunteers to work with us on a very special strategy that we are already exploring and digging deeply into with some very distinguished political guys about, we got to have several fronts to address our attack. The first attack, of course, is everybody going to vote against this thing, right? Then you got your lawyers at City Hall and other people working on another attack, and then you got to have another kind of attack. We got to attack this thing from 3 different places, right? Strategic. Because it's a war.
You have to have a plan.
Yeah, you got to have a plan.
Got to have a plan.
And then when we kill this referendum, then we move forward with the mature integrity type of government elected officials that can help take this wonderful city to the next plateau. But right now, politics is not an issue, because if we don't keep the right to vote, it don't matter. We won't be able to vote for nobody anyway. Right. Can you dig what I'm saying, Teddy Tashe?
Absolutely, I do understand what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense. There's so much that is at stake for so many right now, paying attention to what's going on in the Senate, paying attention to different elections that will be coming up. And while many people are focused on the presidential elections or the bigger elections, it's the ones that are closest to us that matter the most. So, the mayors, the police chiefs, and, people like that, attorney generals and things, because those are the people that really affect us and touch us most directly in the bigger scheme of things. So we do need to be vigilant and paying attention to what's going on.
Yes, all politics is local. I don't care what goes on in the world. She's right. All politics is local. And that's why I had my Vote 2020. Everybody got to vote 2020. And then also, let me show you this. Now, the lady who was just talking, Teddy Tashe Payton, she's always on these shows. She got her Rock the Vote book out. I got my vote book button on.
Stay woke and vote in 2020, people.
Yes. Now, because first you have to have your political power by keeping your vote. Then once you get your political power, you have to have what they call your economic power. So now, Teddy Tashe Payton, I'm holding this piece of paper up. Please tell Atlantic City about this Opportunity Zone Black Capitalism Fund Summit that you're hosting at the Showboat on the 12th of February during Black History Month. Please tell us what this is all about.
So the summit this year is focusing, as it has in years past, on what it means and what it looks like to have different projects go underway in opportunity zones, and what it looks like to revitalize areas that may be experiencing some economic downturn. What do I mean by that? Communities may not be thriving the way that we want them to, or communities may not have everything that it needs in order to truly make it become a full community or full service community, so to speak. And in that, we are looking to say, what can we do to help? Mm-hmm. And what can we do to bring industry, to bring business, to bring redevelopment into areas to make it thrive, or communities that were once thriving to make it thrive again. So this summit is looking at that, and we're tackling those issues. We're bringing in investors from across the United States to look at what it means and what it looks like to bring in money to Atlantic City, in addition to other areas such as the Virgin Islands, Baltimore, Maryland, and other places as well. So as we continue to go along this journey, we want to bridge the gap between private investment and entrepreneurs, in addition to public funding, bring it all together in one place and make deals and transactions happen. So that's the gist of what's going to happen. But we also have more exciting things going on at the summit as well. We will be giving away awards, and these awards will be given to some boxers who have paved the way for many others and who continue to dedicate their lives to philanthropy. And I won't say who's who amongst who quite yet, but we do have people who have already given us their word and committed to coming.
Fabulous.
So we will be doing that. And we'll talk about future projects that we have going on.
Can I say something?
Yes, please do.
First off, hi, Teddy Tashe. How are you, beautiful?
I am so awesome. How are you, Miss Lisa?
You know I love you. She is such a powerhouse. To all of our listeners out there, if you're not really familiar with Teddy Tashe, she's just a powerhouse. And this event that she's putting on, I want to encourage everyone to support it because it's something unique where you have the opportunity to come out and pitch your business ideas to some real people that can take your business to a whole nother level. This girl has years of experience in doing this, and she's very, very well connected. I'm honored to just be working with you, Teddy Tashe. I hope I get to come to the event. You know, hopefully
yes,
you'll hook a sister
there.
up.
What do you mean you hope you get to come?
Do I get media access? I mean,
Yes.
But I'm just saying all of this so that everyone has an idea on just who you're dealing with. She is very, very highly connected in Washington, D.C., lots of contacts. It's going to be lots of networking going on and a great opportunity for if you have a business plan or if there's an idea that you had in mind, you definitely want to come out and support this event. I'm just so proud of you to be bringing something like this to the city of Atlantic City. I just commend you. I'm very proud of you, and I'm honored to work with you. And guess what? On Facebook, somebody saw us together, and they actually knew you. Karen Richardson, great friend of mine. She said she saw our picture. And she's like, I know both of you. I'm like, well, how do you know Teddy Tashe? And apparently you're the baller down there in the D.C. area, because Karen Richardson is also a big baller down there. You know, Jimmy Whitehead, that was my girlfriend's sister.
Oh, okay.
Well, he took us to Urban One Honors. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but I just want to tell the Atlantic City residents that because of Jimmy Whitehead, you know, these types of connections are coming to the city of Atlantic City, things that we've never been exposed to. I've been working in media in Atlantic City for 20 years, and I've never seen things like this come into the city by someone who's so passionate and really cares about the residents. Like Jimmy Whitehead really is committed to bringing new things to the city of Atlantic City. In 2020, we're doing new things. So we just want to encourage everybody to share this broadcast, share this information, be a part of the movement in 2020 and what we're trying to do, because all we're trying to do is empower and uplift this community and take you to another level. And Teddy Tashe, we thank you for bringing your innovative ideas, your innovative connections, your innovative, the people that you know. We just appreciate you bringing that type of energy into the city of Atlantic City. And I'm going to stop talking now because I talked a lot. So go ahead.
Thank you so much for the accolades. I do truly appreciate it.
I love you.
But, you know, one of the things that is near and dear to both Jimmy and I are people, right? And so because we love people, because we want to see communities thrive, we have to pay attention and we have to do our part. So here we are doing our part to bring this thing full circle, to make it happen.
Thank you.
And, I'm going to tell you guys something, too. Again, our hearts do go out to Kobe Bryant's family and any family that goes through this type of tragic situation. The whole world was like shocked. But God bless their family. But, yes, so back on this Pathway of Wealth building in Atlantic City with opportunity zones. I've posted the link that you can go to get more information, find out about the registration fees, etc. And Teddy Tashe, she's donating 2 tickets per show to the first 2 people that call in to WEHA. After we come back from our break, we're going to take 1 call, and after the next break, we're going to take another call. And the phone number to call in on, I'm going to type it up here too so you can see it. It's 609-641-8870. And that's the phone number to call in on if you want to try to win 2 of these tickets or 1 of them. Because let me tell you what's going to happen here. The Opportunity Zones is a new law that was passed in 2018, and basically it says if your city has an area that is economically distressed or depressed, then in this area, if somebody comes in with money, whether they come in and invest $100,000 or $1 million or $100 million or $1 billion, they don't have to pay any taxes on that money for 10 years. So let's say that in some of the areas in Atlantic City that are carved out as opportunity zones, you and a couple of your girlfriends or you and a couple of other guys get together and say, you know what, we're going to buy up 5 of these private residents, and turn them into fabulous it's called bed and breakfast, B&Bs or Airbnbs.
Airbnbs.
Okay, now you might have invested, let's say, 5 buildings. Let's say you get them for $150,000 each, $250,000. So let's say $500,000 investment that you make. Or let's try something more simple. Let's just go with one house. So you buy one house for $150,000. Well, the $150,000 that you invested in that house, you don't have to pay taxes on because it's in an opportunity zone. Now, over the next 10 years, that house is going to be making you some income because people are going to be renting it because it's going to be beautiful, it's going to be clean, you're going to respect your neighbors.
And a resort.
It's going to be real nice. You got to do this stuff nice. You know what I mean? You got to respect your neighbors. Can't have people... You got to have rules.
Right.
You got to have rules. Can't be blasting your music and stuff but at the same time, if you could get one of these homes and make it an investment for your family.
Which is really a lot being done.
In the next 10 years, it's making money. Also, it's appreciating the value of it.
Yep.
So whether you have $150,000 to invest or you got $150 million to invest, this Opportunity Zone Summit is a place you want to be because you're going to hear from the experts in the industries and the major investors interested in coming into Atlantic City. You can hear from some defense and some intelligence people, some military people about cyber projects, the importance of cyber properties and digital property. This is going to be a summit focused on how to make Atlantic City wealthier by being inclusive of diversity because Atlantic City residents are part of the solution. They're not the problem. They're part of the capitalism that's going to happen, the growth factor here, by being a part of it. So you're being invited into the room. Atlantic City is being invited into the deal at the deal table. But you know what you got to do? You got to make that first step. You got to be here. You got to get engaged. If you want to make money, money is not made easy. It takes a long time. I've been trying to get rich all my life, and I ain't rich yet. But you can never quit. You got to keep, every morning you get up, you got to be thinking about what can I do to become wealthier than I was yesterday.
Right.
And the first thing you got to do is be informed because information is power.
Yep.
And if they're going to be in this room cutting deals and talking about deals, then your ears need to be in that room listening to the deals, okay?
And
so what we're going to do after this station break, we're going to come back and we're going to give away one of Teddy Tache's tickets to the first caller. And when you call in, we want you to either comment or share your views about the opposition to vote no against the economic referendum or share your views about opportunity zones. So stay tuned. Dial in at 609-641-8870 on the Jimmy Whitehead Power Show on WEHA in Atlantic City, by the ocean, the greatest city in America, and the best beach in the world. Vote 2020. Where my button at? 2020, vote. Call us, win a ticket. Come to the Opportunity Zone, Atlantic City. We'll be right back.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together, we're polishing up our act. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen to every word I say, every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're running up. there's a negative vibe. And if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going, they don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're gonna put our show together, gonna polish up our act. Wow. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing stand in your way.
The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour. Power to the people. Talking about the power of the people of Atlantic City. A platform for people to discuss ideas of the community. Creating an all-inclusive environment where people of Atlantic City can actively participate in the economic revitalization of Atlantic City's future. This forum will focus on black and white capitalism, working together to create red, white, and blue capitalism. Every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. on WEHA 88.7 and 100.3 FM. WeHaveGospel.com. The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour. Power to the people.
So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Atlantic City. Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour with Lisa Diane Hall and Teddy Taché, calling from our Washington, D.C. headquarter office. And before we get back into our subject matter and give away these tickets, when there's some callers in, if you want to call in now. 609-641-8870. Call in, and you're going to win one of the first tickets. But let me tell you this. Feliz Navidad to Celeste Fernandez. Feliz Navidad.
That's Merry Christmas, I think. Feliz Navidad.
No, Navidad. This says Navidad with a D.
We're trying to say congratulations.
Congratulations. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
To Celeste Fernandez.
Celeste Fernandez.
Yes.
Yay.
Hey. She and Ms. Diaz sends me the words when I have to say. I went to I went to the store the other day because Celeste Fernandez has been teaching me how to say things in Spanish.
She teaching you to be bilingual?
Yes.
Okay.
At least the greetings, to be
Okay.
diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the store the other day, and it was a Spanish girl. She was a Latin background.
Okay.
She was the cashier, right? So I went to her, and I said, Buenas tardes.
Good evening.
Which is good afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Good evening is Buenas Norte. Right?
Okay, right, wait.
So she's a real live Latin woman, right? Girl. So she was telling me, excuse me? I said, Buenas tardes. She said, Buenas tardes. I said, yeah, that means good afternoon. And she's looking at me. She couldn't remember. She said, yes, I couldn't remember. She said, I couldn't.
Proper Spanish.
I said,
they speak Spanglish or something.
Well, no, she didn't remember for that moment. And she said, I couldn't think when you were talking to me about this. And you know what I told her? I said, because I got some Chanel cologne on. I got the Chanel.
Oh, he got the Chanel.
It'll throw you off track,
You're just throwing everybody off.
Yeah, she was Latin and she didn't even know how to say Buenas tardes.
You just threw her off with that Chanel.
Track with that Chanel.
Smelling all good. Teddy Taché, he think he cute with this Chanel. He telling everybody to smell him.
That's because he got it from me.
Okay.
I figured you probably hooked him up with all of these things.
I'm just so happy Atlantic City is getting so enthusiastically unified for this. Here again tonight, 7 o'clock at the Soldiers Home. 1015 Adriatic Avenue is the vote no against the North Jersey takeover. And I'm just so ecstatic of how all Atlantic City, the blacks, the whites, the Bangladesh, the Latinos, the Asians, everybody's coming together. Matter of fact, I had somebody send me a message on my Facebook. Mm-hmm. You know how you do these little notes to each other? And they said, is it okay if the Caucasians get involved? I say, absolutely, it's okay. Matter of fact, it's so okay. It's so okay. Even on Teddy Taché material, it says black and white capitalism working together to create red, white, and blue capitalism. We're all in this together. We're all Americans, okay? So, do we have any callers calling in to get a ticket, a $200 ticket to this economic summit to talk about opportunities on investment? Do we have anybody out there that wants to be an entrepreneur and is interested in making millions one day, or maybe hundreds of thousands, or tens of thousands? call us at 609-641-8870 and give us your opinion about the referendum, or give us your thoughts about Opportunity Zone entrepreneurship, and you win one of Teddy Tache's tickets to February 12th Opportunity Zone Black Capitalism Fund Summit at the Showboat Resort in Atlantic City. It'll be 8:30 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and they have a VIP reception on the 11th from 6 to 8. So we know Lisa Diane will be there because she's a VIP.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
I'm
excited. I'm going to have my business cards, and I'm going to be networking, Teddy Tache. I can't wait to meet some of these professionals that you're bringing to the area. I'm really, really excited about it. And, I'm just excited about all that you guys are, this energy, this new 2020 movement.
Yes.
We're going to definitely be doing big things. So thank you, Teddy Tache. We love you.
And LaToya Dunston out there with the exclusive marching band, and Councilman Kaleem Shabazz with the NAACP, and Councilman Zia, and Councilman Chowherd, and the Honorable Board of Directors, Board of Education Director, I'm trying to learn all my names. Just a minute. It'll come to me. But you know who I'm talking about, Your Honor. Forgive me. So anyway, thank you all for your incredible leadership at the local level there, especially LaToya Dunston and everyone at City Hall.
Councilwoman LaToya Dunston.
Councilwoman. What did I say?
You just said LaToya Dunston.
Yes, excuse me. Councilwoman LaToya Dunston.
Right.
That is correct.
We love women in politics.
Yes. So Teddy Tache, about the summit, give us a little more background. Like, for example, some of the Opportunity Zone projects that are being developed there in Washington, D.C. at St. Elizabeth. Tell us a little bit about some of the projects that are currently underway.
I'm sorry, you said tell you about some of the projects.
Yeah, do you have information about the St. Elizabeth project in Southeast?
So, specifically, I guess, there are so many different things that are going on. So, with the St. Elizabeth projects, you have different RFPs that have been put out, and with that, different companies have come and told the city what they plan on doing for St. Elizabeth, or the different plots of land for that area. And as a result, you see different spurs from hotels. We had the Mystics, they did their new arena in that area. We've had, restaurants, mixed use and things like that are coming or underway to the city, specifically Ward 8.
Well, I know it's a total of about it's about a $1.5 billion development between St. Elizabeth and Poplar Point, and the developer, Red Brick, Louis Dubin, you have him attending the summit to explore the type of stuff they're doing there in Atlantic City.
Absolutely. So it's, again, just furthering showing, what's being done in other places. Yeah. And certain things can be mimicked, although, not everything characteristically are the same about the city. Sure. But the process and the way in which you get stuff done definitely can be the same, because it's the same opportunity zone throughout the U.S. So, yeah.
Got you. Well, we're going to... we're looking forward to this. We're working diligently on it, and it's coming together extraordinarily. I mean, I'm really excited about it. We're going to have some students from Stockton and some students from Atlantic City High School invited to attend the summit from an anonymous sponsor of their tickets, and that way they can see how some of these deals are done, at this level, give them more exposure. So with that, I'm looking forward to this evening. Again, I want to read this notice for public that the vote no against the hostile North Jersey takeover is going on this evening at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be at the Soldiers Home All Wars Memorial Building at 1510 Adriatic Avenue. So please, everybody that wants to support our efforts to oppose Atlantic City residents losing their vote, please come out to this summit, to this meeting this evening at the Soldiers Home. So, Lisa Diane, your thoughts on this referendum, because you've been around a long time here in Atlantic City. Have you ever seen anything like this happen before, or go through this process before?
In my 20 years of media, I've never seen anything like this happen in the city of Atlantic City. It's very disturbing to see, like I said, how people could just come in from outside of the area and try to, control, govern a body of people that have been living here all their lives, and now you want to take their rights away and tell them, they don't have the right to vote. I think it's just crazy insane. So I'm glad that there are platforms here at WEHA in which the community has access to utilize to get the word out to the masses, because I don't care what anybody says. It was you and Derek Brock who created this buzz to begin with a couple weeks ago. Actually in December, wasn't it? When did you first start this movement?
I think we started talking about that time, but it has really been a real unified effort across the board with everybody.
But you started the movement, is all I'm trying to say,
Yes.
is utilizing this radio station.
Yes, you started the movement in that case, Dan, because you're the one that got us on this radio station.
But I didn't tell you the subject matter in which to talk about. So that's all you,
Yeah.
Jimmy Whitehead, you and Derek Brock and your supporters. That's all you. So I thank you for giving me acknowledgement, because a lot of people don't ever acknowledge that I even helped them or I've ever
you're
even
phenomenal.
assisted them.
You're phenomenal.
I have a lot of clients that I've worked with in this town. Lots of people that when I approach them, they act like they don't know me. They act like that I don't know where they came from, because I knew you before who you are.
Sure.
To this day.
Sure.
So when I approach people like that and they want to get new and act like they don't know who I am, I've been here for 20 years and I've seen a lot of people come and go. And all I had to say is in 2020, it's a new thing going on. There's new things going on. Just because you live here or you feel like a sense of entitlement, it's a new movement out here. So you better stay woke. And that's all I'm going to say is that I just feel, I'm speaking a prophetic word. I'm on this fast 21 days, and God has downloaded a lot of information to me. A lot of information has been downloaded to me. This is my book of everything that comes downloaded into my spirit while I've been fasting.
Wow.
And I would just write it down. And so I'm at church yesterday, and what is my pastor, Apostle Robin at the embassy says? She says, you should have a book. You need to write down all the things that God is telling to you. You should have a book. And I was like, well, I already got my book.
Wow.
And within this book, you're in it, Jimmy Whitehead.
Uh-oh.
You're in this book. And Teddy Tajay, you're in this book.
I'm honored.
Because it's a new movement out here. We can't keep doing the same things like we've been doing for the last 2 decades, or we're going to keep getting the same results. You got to do new things if you want new beginnings and new results. You got to do new things. You can't keep doing the same old like you've been doing. It's time for a new in 2020. I'm speaking a prophetic word right here because God is in the building. This isn't Lisa that's talking. It's God speaking through me. And he's saying we got to do a new thing in 2020. All those old things that you did in 2019, leave it back in the old decade. Align yourself with the right people at the right time to do the right things. Align yourself with the right people at the right time to do the right things. You heard me, Jimmy Whitehead?
I heard you.
Align yourself with the right people at the right time to do the right things.
Wow.
That's a powerful word that's coming from me on this day, January 27th. It's ever since I've been on this fast, that is the message that I have been getting so powerfully, is to align myself with the right people at the right time for the right reasons. You cannot keep hanging out with people who are dead weight. You got to cut the weight in 2020. All the people, them crabs in the barrel that's trying to keep you back, it's time for them to be cut. Cut the dead weight out of your life and see what manifests in 2020. Big things are going to manifest right here at this radio station. I'll say it again. I'm speaking a prophetic word right here, January 27th, 2020. Big things are going to manifest right here at WEHA 88.7 and 100.3 FM. Because why? This is a God-centered station. Because why? God sent all the people who are here right here in this radio station as we speak. God sent us all here for a purpose and a meaning. I'm I'm connected with you, Jimmy Whitehead, for a reason. You connected with me for a reason. It's not all about what I can do individually. It's what we can do all together as a whole to make change. So I'm just going to stop on that moment. You heard my prophetic word for 2020. People out here, stay woke. This man and Teddy Taché, I'm surprised the phones aren't ringing off the hooks. These are $200 tickets where you have the opportunity to come down with your business plan and make a pitch. Like WEHA needs to come down there and make a pitch to these people about our radio station so we get some funding to stay on the air so that the Hawks don't have to take it out of their personal pocket to keep this radio station on the air. Why? Because nobody supports this radio station. This radio station is on the air because they care. It's in the community as a platform for you all to use. So I am shocked and appalled when I approach our black mayor and ask him to do a radio show on our network, and I didn't even get a phone call back. So I can put it out there because I've been in media for 20 years, and I knew you when you wasn't even a council person. But when you first became elected mayor, you were one of the first person that I went over and approached to do a radio show at this radio station by a minority-owned and operated African-American family that's been in this community for 10 years, and Mr. Hawks is an Atlantic City resident. Why would you not support this station that's been in your community for 10 years? But you took your business elsewhere and you didn't even give me a call back. But guess what? Your loss is somebody else's gain, okay? Because we are doing big things in 2020. James Whitehead, you doing big things in 2020. I don't know what it is, but the connections that we've made since we did this basic radio show, we have connected with Kathy Hughes. We have connected with major people who we are bringing attention to this radio station and the city of Atlantic City. We creating a buzz about what's going on around here. We got Teddy Taché coming in here from Washington, D.C. with an economic empowerment summit where you have the opportunity to come and bring your business plans and get funding for it. Why aren't the phones ringing off the hook?
I know.
Why aren't the phones ringing off the hook right now?
They're going to do better. Because and also the young man who won the ticket last week, I need you to reach out to contact me because I need a way to give you a ticket. Stuart Wolf, I got him covered. But I need that other young man to call to reach out. And I see that Lisa Diane just did the gospel
here.
Yeah, you were fired up. I'm like, okay.
I'm sorry.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
I feel a certain kind of way.
Well, God bless you.
Because I'm trying to take things to another level, and I support those who support me.
Well,
so thank you, Jimmy Whitehead.
Yes.
And I got to give you this certificate, but I will wait for you to give me the time to give it to you.
What is that? Go ahead and give it to me. What did you get?
Okay, well, everybody.
Let's say it. We're going to take a breath.
Yeah, I'm sorry I went off on a tangent.
That's okay. You was
but I feel a certain kind of way. I worked at every radio station and every media outlet there is here, and I worked with everybody.
I got you.
And so when I approach you, you at least need to give me an appointment. That's all I'm saying.
You
at least need to support the minority radio station in your hood.
I'm always
You at least need to give us some support.
Yes.
City of Atlantic City.
Yes.
I worked with everybody in the city of Atlantic City, and when I approached certain individuals, I didn't even get a call back. But I see they on other stations that aren't minority owned that could care less about the community without charging you $1,000 a shot.
Wow.
Okay, well, we ain't even going to take it there. But LDTV, everybody who are listening in our audience, I'm all fired up for everybody.
You're fired up for God. You're fired
up. Yeah, I'm anointed. I'm on fire for God.
Yes, you are.
And right now, I would like to make this special presentation to Jimmy Whitehead. Jimmy Whitehead has been a valued client at WEHA since September of 2019. So we would like to take this time to present you with this certificate of appreciation. This says this certificate is hereby awarded to the Power Hour with Jimmy Whitehead in appreciation for your committed service to WEHA 88.7 and 100.3.
Wow.
Awarded on this 14th day. This was really awarded a while ago, but you're just getting it. By William Hawks Jr., the president, and Elaine Hawks, general manager of WEHA.
Thank you.
So we would like to, and Lisa Diane Hall, I would like to thank Jimmy Whitehead for being my VIP client. This is the award, everyone. We want to thank you for your support of WEHA because it is shows like yours that keeps this radio station on the air.
Thank you.
You know, because it costs money to have this studio. It costs money to have these microphones. It costs money to do these broadcasts. And pretty much WEHA has been just being, you know, this is a ministry for the Hawks.
Yes.
They have been pretty much paying for this out of their pockets. Why? Because they love this station. It's their baby. So help us support the Hawks and take this radio station to a new level in 2020. You see the donation information that we have on our website, wehavegospel.com, where you can make a donation to a small donation to WEHA if it's been a blessing to you. You can host your own radio show on WEHA. You can have a show like Jimmy Whitehead's on WEHA. All you have to do is reach out to me, Lisa Diane Hall, General Sales Manager here.
Thank you very much, Lisa. I'll accept this for me and Teddy Taché, my faithful and wonderful comrade. Thank you, the Hawks. Yeah. This is my first time ever getting something for a business I don't really know a lot about, radio or TV, but thank you very much. I cherish this.
Well
thank
deserved.
You. God bless you.
Thank you, Jimmy Whitehead.
So look, what we're going to do, when we come back, but first I'm just, you know, I'm not used to getting stuff from people, so I'm kind of like...
You don't know how to act.
Yeah, I don't know how to act. Thank you, though. But it's on behalf of a team, because there's no I in the word team. You know, it's always a team effort. So on behalf of the team, thank you. Then we come back, we're going to talk about an idea that Joanne Leon and I had discussed, and Teddy Taché too. And what it is, we want to have a creative family way to engage voter participation and voter registration. So we're going to discuss an idea we have when we come back. And like I say, before the end of the hour, you call in, you get a free ticket to the February 12th Opportunity Zone Black Capitalism Fund Summit, thanks to a donor who supports Teddy Taché's effort. So please call in, win a ticket, join us on February 12th, and let's talk about making money, doing good while doing well, and changing the economic paradigm of Atlantic City by you being included in the wealth, okay? We'll be back in a few seconds. God bless you.
There's been so many things that's held us down, but now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our show together, we're polishing up our act. And if you've ever been held down before, I know you refuse to be held down anymore. Well, don't you let nothing stand in your way. I want y'all to listen to every word I say, every word I say. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Ain't no stopping us now. We got to do. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. I know. Ain't no stopping us now. We've got to do. We got it. I know you know someone that has a negative vibe, and if you're trying to make it, they only push you aside. They really don't have nowhere to go. Ask them where they're going, they don't know.
The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour, power to the people, talking about the power of the people of Atlantic City, a platform for people to discuss ideas of the community, creating an all-inclusive environment where people of Atlantic City can actively participate in the economic revitalization of Atlantic City's future. This forum will focus on black and white capitalism, working together to create red, white, and blue capitalism. Every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. on WEHA 88.7 and 100.3 FM. WeHaveGospel.com. TheJimmyWhitehead.com. The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour. Power to the people.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Buenos dias, buenos tardes, and buenos noches. Atlantic City in America. Welcome back to WEHA, Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour, where we're talking about
I'm going to miss my mom.
Current events. One thing we're talking about is
Bad.
We got a caller on.
Is there a caller on the air?
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, who is this?
Teron Augustine.
Who?
Teron Augustine.
Teron Augustine. Well, Teron, you just won a ticket to the Opportunity Zone Black Capitalism Fund Summit for February 12th. So congratulations. So what are your thoughts? You got to give us your opinion on either the petition that's going on in Atlantic City to vote no against this petition to take away the power from the people, or you got to give us your opinion about opportunity zones. Which one do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the petition.
Yeah, what's your opinion about this economic apartheid petition down there to try to take the vote away from the people of Atlantic City? What are your thoughts as a young man?
I believe it's kind of like upsetting because, like I said, we're all from this community, and we all have a say in whatever happens in Atlantic City. So I believe it's kind of wrong that they are trying to do this. So I agree with the petition.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Are you 16? Well, good. We're
So
gonna
he's
have
a future voter.
Yeah, he's a future voter.
Are you registered to vote? Or he can't?
No, he can't till 18,
yes,
right.
until he's 18,
well, the good thing is we're looking for some people your age to attend this summit, so that works out very well. And where do you go to school at?
I go to Egg Harbor Township High School.
Okay, wonderful. What is your primary focus subject? What subject do you like the most?
My primary subject, let me see, I'm trying to think the one I had the highest grade in. Probably math.
Math? Okay.
Math.
Well, that's an excellent subject for getting into the cyber business and what we're going to be talking about at the summit. So, look, you got your ticket. You'll be receiving it. Next Monday, I'll have him in here with me. And you look forward to putting on your calendar to be... Will you be in school that day? Will you be able to get out of school for the summit?
When is the exact date of the
It's
summit?
on a Wednesday from 8:30 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon.
It depends on if the organization depends. If I can get it. I have to have an excuse note.
Okay, you might be able to talk to one of your teachers.
Well, we will make sure that your teachers and administration know that this is dealing with civics and it's something that the whole school could benefit from. And in addition, if I were your educator, I would make sure that as long as you brought me back like a one-page summary of the things that you have learned or were exposed to, then we'd be okay. So make sure that you give us your school's information so that we can contact them and make sure that you get an excused absence for attending the summit.
Thank you, Teddy Taché. Thank you, Teddy
You're so
Taché,
welcome.
patron. So that's the answer there. So look, get in touch with us, and we'll take your information and make sure you got the information to be at the summit. Okay? We got another call coming in. Okay, thank you very much, brother. Okay, we got another call online.
Yeah, hey, how you doing, Jimmy?
Fine. Who is this?
The gentleman I called last week.
Man, I'm glad you called. I'm glad you. This is the brother that. Okay, good. I'm good. I'm good, brother. So look, did you get my email address the last time?
Nah, I got it. I came. You told me you had a meeting. I came and I get there. Nobody was there.
Man, and I'm glad you said something about that because I waited. What time did you get there? About 30 minutes after.
I got there by probably like 7:20, something like that.
You about 7:20. But what had happened? And I didn't have any note paper to tape on the door, nothing. But I went on and posted on the Facebook that we had to reschedule that meeting because that night there was a major Democratic committee meeting in Atlantic City. So everybody went to that meeting and nobody showed up. So I stayed out in front of the building for about 30 minutes because I was waiting to see if somebody came. And so you must have came right after I left. And I apologize, but I'm glad you called, man. I'm so glad you called, man.
Yeah, I just happened to hear it on the radio talking about the young man from last week, and I was like,
that was you. That was you, brother.
I hit you on Facebook.
You did hit me on Facebook?
But,
Spell your name. Spell your name for me. Or you want to just text me your name or something? Text me. I need a way to get in touch with you. Let me give you a phone number. Call me on 202.
Hold on, Jimmy. I'm driving.
Can he just inbox you on Facebook?
You driving? Just inbox me. Just inbox
him on
me on Facebook.
James
inbox
Whitehead.
me on Facebook. I'll be looking for your information, okay?
Yeah, I already friend you, so it's on.
Oh, you got the number, Steph? Oh, we got your phone number. I got your phone number, too, because it came up on the screen. So I got your phone number. I'm going to text you my information, and then we connect, and then we're going to see you on February 12th, okay?
Okay.
I'm so glad you called in, brother. Thank you, man, for calling in.
It's going to be
major. Yeah, and let me tell you this. Tomorrow, well, I'm going to text you because I'm going to try to, I got something I want to talk to you about, okay? Because I like your spirit. I like your spirit. And you got the can-do attitude, and I got something I want to run by you after we connect tonight, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother, for calling. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to connecting.
Congratulations.
All right, you too, man.
Thank you.
Okay, good. I got you. All right, brother.
Lisa Diane, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for listening to the Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour. We appreciate you. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Amen.
Okay, share the video, share the information.
All right, will do.
All right, brother. God bless. So, look, before we get to the end of this show, I want to just shout out to Justin Foster and Kelly and Arthur and Brad and Rodney Whitehead, Tyrone Hazelton. How you doing, brother?
Valerie Whitehead.
Valerie Whitehead, too? Yeah, of course. You got to do Valerie.
I just saying, I hate to say.
Yeah. And Michael Hargroves. Everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. And here again, we got a 7 o'clock meeting this evening at the Soldiers Home, which is 1510 Adriatic Avenue. I'll be down there this evening. If anybody wants to come down and chat with me and talk to me about some of your ideas and sign up to be a part of our team moving forward, please come down tonight, 7 o'clock at the Soldiers Home, All Wars Memorial Building, 1510 Adriatic Avenue in Atlantic City. Tomorrow, Derek Brock and I are trying to have a strategic meeting at the Bangladesh Community Center at 6:30 to 7:30. Brother Muhammad Islam, I'll reach out to you and Councilman Zia for your support. But we're trying to get about 10 to 15 people to show up on a special assignment, special strategic strategy assignment. So please reach out to me through Facebook if you want to be a part of our team. Reach out to Derek Brock to be part of our team. And thank you all for all your love. Teddy Tashe Payton, thank you for all your support. Lisa Diane Hall, thank you.
Thank you,
Stephon Jackson. And we're going to take it out with Atlantic City, my man Sean Rock. Okay, so check it out. This is original Atlantic City, how we do it up here.
How we do it.
And please join us at the summit. Join us at the Soldiers Home this evening, and join us for the future of Atlantic City's growth. God bless you, Atlantic City.
Stay woke and vote, people. Stay woke and vote.
The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour, power to the people, talking about the power of the people of Atlantic City, a platform for people to discuss ideas of the community, creating an all-inclusive environment where people of Atlantic City can actively participate in the economic revitalization of Atlantic City's future. This forum will focus on black and white capitalism, working together to create red, white, and blue capitalism. Every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. on WEHA 88.7 and 100.3 FM. We have gospel.com. The Jimmy Whitehead Power Hour. Power to the people.
From the landmark to land shark, barbecues in the park, battle by the bay, the city so full of spark. This is my city till death do us part. So no matter where I go, it's AC to the heart.
City, driving down the boulevard, show what we're made of. That's why they come from near and far. Atlantic City, casinos lit up in the dark. High stakes, we made it. We shining bright among the stars.
Atlantic City's known for more than saltwater taffy. We hurricane survivors, Great Atlantic and Sandy. The world's playground, flood the coast with eye candy. Couple of May fellas suited up and sipping brandy. Real life Monopoly boards, so step aboard. Roll the dice, stroll the night, play at your own accord. Rich Uncle Penny bags, hustlers on every ave. A safe haven for gangsters, better protect your cash. We skip the prohibition to always serve the customer. Boats full of booze, runners through the summer. Nucky Johnson at the Ricks, Capone taking flicks. All the glamour for the glamour, bright lights and all the glitz. 32 Kentucky Ave, home for Black Jazz Club, Harlem nightlife, Pop Williams the highlight. Cocktails and pretty girls, they ain't a place better than when you down on your luck, we always let you bet again.
Gospel 88.7 WEHA. It's more than music. It's ministry.
WEHA, Port Republic, Atlantic City, and now on FM Translator 100.3 W26 2CF, Atlantic City.
Hey, you like football? I know you like football. You looking for a place to watch the Super Bowl? Well, we got you a place to watch some dark football. WEHA's gonna hook you up because Gospel 88.7 and 100.3 FM WEHA, we have Gospel presents the Sunday Super Bowl Buffet. That's right, it's a buffet going down where you can watch the Super Bowl and eat your favorite foods. It's a large buffet of heavy appetizers and desserts, assorted juices, sodas, punch, and plenty of H2O. It's even going to have some halftime games and giveaways. You know when it's happening, Super Bowl Sunday. That's right, Sunday, February 2nd, 2020. Doors open at 5 p.m. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. at the Beacon Hall, 243 St. Louis Avenue, Egg Harbor City, New Jersey. Admission is $20 per person, $10 for children 12 and under. And you better RSVP because it's limited seating. You want tickets? Do you want tickets? I said, do you want tickets? The number to call is 609-641-8870. Or you can get your tickets at wehavegospel.com. Super Bowl Sunday, you gotta be at Beacon Hall to see the big game. Of course, we're rooting for the Eagles around here. We're so happy that they got farther than Dallas this year.
WEHA, Christ-centered, community-focused, Deacon William Hawks, President.
Praise the Lord, everybody. This is Deacon William Hawks, also known as El Presidente, here at Gospel 88.7 FM and 100.3 FM Atlantic City, where we have gospel. And yes, we're still spreading the gospel one song at a time. We want to thank God for all of our listeners who continue to pray for us and support us. Oftentimes, I'm walking down the street and someone asks, Deacon Hawks, El Presidente, I want to help. I want to get involved. I want to do my part. And they say, how can I do that? And I say, you know something? You can log onto our website and